Bloodstorm 80, your mountain man, back with another video. Okay, right away I want to get into this topic. You go to Netflix, or, pardon me, YouTube, and you see a lot of people playing Destiny 2, bringing you guide videos, bringing you videos to tell you how to get this or how to do that, or they generalize what you should do to gaining items. And if you're a player like me, you're a solo player. You play a lot by yourself. A lot of your friends that you used to play Destiny with, they've moved on to other games, or do other things, or life has gotten in the way, where they can't game as much, or they just don't game at all anymore. And so you run into that issue of like, well, these high level content, you can't matchmake, so you're stuck trying to do these things by yourself. And I mean, you can run the 1220s. I'm not saying anything negative about the 1220 grinders. If you want to sit there for 4 hours, grinding, I mean, trust me, I do it for every day, at least for an hour or two. Nightfalls are great because you run a certain mod on your ghost, and every chance you get, you can get that prism, which can, that's 400 shards. So yeah, but I digress. Anyways, I want to really point out the fact that nobody is talking about the spider. The spider in the Tangled Shore has become your #1 source for cores. No one is talking about it. I don't know why, but if you really want to quickly masterwork your weaponry and get up to the high energy levels of your armor, so that you have lots of mod options, so you can be able to do things more fluidly with all your stuff, your weaponry, I should say, stuff. This is where the way you want to go, because his bounties have always been, kind of like thrown under the, kind of like the rug, so to speak. People, they're there, but if a new player to Destiny 2 was coming in at Beyond Light, no one they don't know about Spider. They don't know the history behind the last DLC and Forsaken and Shadowkeep, and how he's been around helping us Guardians for a long while now. And one thing I was really kind of curious about was the Spider going to sell us the materials from the planets that the darkness swallowed up? Now, because there have been some items in the tower that have been purchasable with said materials, and there hasn't been any sold, and so you're now stuck with, I guess, debating with your personal stockpile of these said materials, going, do you really want to spend them? And so then now you're heading into the other issue, which is where I'm leading to. You can go to the Banshee, alright, and you can buy these prisms for cores. Now the problem is that if you're running into materials that you say don't have a lot of, or are no longer existent to go collect, how would you buy these prisms? And then the cores themselves, they're useful for upgrade mods. So you're constantly always wanting cores, right? It's either, am I turning these into prisms to save up towards a shard, or am I using all these cores towards masterworking weaponry, or am I going to get up to masterwork level rank 8 in my armor, or am I going to buy upgrade modules so I can keep my light going up high? Cores are always in the forefront of this game when it comes to leveling up. So what am I talking about when it comes to the vendor? Alright, so this is what I want to show. Okay, so if we go to the Tangled Shore, I'm going to take you there. We're actually going to go there. Now, if you're new to this game and you log in, you will get overwhelmed like I used to back in the day. They show there's so much stuff that pops up on your screen to go do here, go here, go here, do this. It becomes to the point where you're just like, I don't know where to start. You know, you'll get into a little tear on one thing, and then something will lead you to another way, and then you're just like, well, I didn't finish that, and then it sits back, you know, on the back burner for a while, and then all of a sudden you go, oh, I forgot about that, you know. So we're gonna go to the spider here. And the spider, so what I do, let's get back to my point. I almost lost my train of thought there. So every day your Destiny is a game you really want to make a schedule for yourself. I mean, this is one of those games with it's almost like a job.
What catches your eye?
So you're putting work into your character, right? So I mean, it's actually a really smart idea to break down a timetable for yourself so that you can tell yourself what you're doing every day. So when you don't log on, you're going, where do I go? What am I doing? So I recommend this every day, and on all three characters. This is the key to this boost, if you really want it, is having your three characters. You get on, you grab your Banshee 44 for daily quests, and you come to the shore. Grind the shore for 20 ghost fragments while you're completing. You don't have to get all these 20 if you don't want to. You could just sit there and do a couple public events, you know, do bounties, patrols, I should say, patrols will automatically guarantee you, I'm pretty sure, these kills, and the ones I do, kills and bounty targets, the marked targets, those, they always give you a ghost shell. You're almost guaranteed 2 for a heroic encounter public event on the surface, so it doesn't take long to get these. Okay, it doesn't. But what you want to do is every day on every character, come here and slowly save up your ghost fragments so that one character at a time, you're slowly buying these wanted bounties. Now the top row, if you need cash, sure, they're helpful, but that's all they're going to offer you. You're getting some glimmer, some XP. Really, it's when you in the long short of it, it's not worth it. It's wasting your time. You're putting your time and effort into an activity that's not going to give you really anything that's worthwhile. But the bottom row, now the prices on these go high. This week we got the Silent Fang, which was a 5 ghost fragment. So this is what I do every day. I get on, I jump on my hunter, I'll do my banshee quests here, run around, do that, get those 4 completed. Once those 4 are done, turn them in right away. So you're getting those cores right away, so that if you don't complete it accidentally, say the next day, and lose out on that extra bounty, because banshees give you good stuff. Okay, so you're doing a banshee daily. Okay, so most of your weeklies don't have what you say, usually they're just mostly upgrade modules, and they're not anything. I haven't seen a Tangled Shore one in a while. I always see EDZ, so unfortunately you can't complete a weekly here, but yes, you're getting 4 cores for turning those 4 banshees dailies in. Then you're turning your ghost fragments into more cores, And if you have 3 characters, even if all you do is get on, do your dailies, get and spend ghost fragments, your cores are count bound. You're gonna save your main character so much time on grinding just by simply jumping on your alternate characters and going, hey, okay, I got some ghost fragments I can spend. Let's buy some targets and go kick their butts for, quickly in a half hour. It doesn't take you long. Most of these targets are in a lost sector, so you're not fighting with people. There are a couple places that get pretty annoying. The worst two, I think, are Urx's partisan on the Gulch. Everyone will kill him. As soon as they see him, they will kill him. So you got to be paying attention to him. And Student Beltrix. He's another one that you really have to pay attention to. High value target is nearby and be vigilant in looking at him where he is, which is right at the spawn. So you don't have to go too far, at least when you land. But yeah, if you get onto your character, there's with the bounties alone. All right, so there's 7 here for one character. So that's 21 cores. Or 2 prisms, right? 2 prisms. 2 prisms a week just for here. Just by killing a few targets. That's something you're already wanting to do. And you're making great glimmer. See, like 3K to 7,500 glimmer, right? Like, it's worth it. And then on top of that, while you're grinding, you're gonna get so many shards. I mean, I spend my shards like religiously. I never have shards. I don't know why. It's once I get like 150, they're gone. It does not take long, but I'm constantly leveling things up, so that is why. So now, let's look at this. So now, you've got, hi kitty, yes, hi kitty, coming in to say hello. Yeah, getting in your 3 cents in. So now here's where I spend a lot of my cores. Every day, you can get on and buy 5 of these. So, there's 150 shards. 150 shards, right? That's worth it. That's, like, there's 5 right there. A day. 7 days. If you know math, that's 35 right there. Okay, bang, and then you add the 21. So you've made 50 cores. Just from, and you can get these done in however quickly you want to get them done. I mean, you can take your time with this, a lot of people will rush in to get everything done, trying to get everything done in one day. Me, I prefer planning it out. It's so much easier, so much more relaxing to play the game when you get on and you're not frustrating yourself going, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. When you can get on and just look at the game and go, okay, we're getting this completed on all my characters, and then we'll just play. Right? You're not sitting there forcing yourself to do things. Like, if you want to. I'm not saying you can't. Like, if you're bored enough that you want to grind, your gambits and your crucibles right away and get your powerfuls, like, by all means, go to it. Go for it. But when it comes to actually, I think, productively getting your time in and doing things, when you can get on, you have 7 days to complete everything. So it's not like you don't have the time to be able to plan each day activities for all your characters to boost the one that you really want to play. And that's all you really should be doing. I mean, most players, I think they do. I mean, if you don't agree with me, comment. But I believe that most players have one specific class they enjoy over the other 2. And so you're constantly always wanting to play that character. Well, then your other 2 start, you slack on them. Well, this way, it keeps you interested in your other characters. I mean, there's so many times now. I'm a hunter player. I love my hunter. I am a Cade 6 replica. I feel I embodied myself in Cade as of Destiny 1 before he even died, people. I was a Cade fanatic. I was all over Cade. I wanted to be like his best friend. I made myself an EXO. I was exactly like him. I loved it. I loved the fact of it. I loved his attitude. He was my favorite character in this game. And so when I started doing my system, I got on my Titan. And I started playing my Titan more. And now my Titan is better than my hunter. My hunter has got a same light level, you know, like it's not like he's slacking in stuff. It's the fact that I got so into my Titan that I started powering his gear up so quickly, and I was enjoying it. And then I started going, but what about my Warlock? You know, my Warlock is just sitting there and you know. But doing it this way makes it easier actually for you to leveling up your other characters, because you should focus always on your weaponry first. Always. I'm not even thinking masterwork there though. I'm thinking late level. Because if you started a brand new character, right? And you handed him or her 3 weaponry, all max light, you could put 1060 armor on them, right? But those three weapons are gonna boost its power. Like and so your drop rate is gonna be increased. So that's how you super level yourself quickly, right? So then you're passing your weaponry around, and then as they're doing things, getting cores. Well, then you start masterworking them, right? Because then you're like, oh, this is a really good gun. I really like it. I play with it a lot. I pass it around between all my characters. Well, as they're getting cores every day, you know, you can be putting them in. And then you're masterworking your weaponry. Once that's done, you can start saving. You know, it's so nice to be able to look at your cores and be like, do I want to buy a prism or do I want to do something else with it? You know, I mean, I always have cores. I love it. I always have cores. I was struggling when I was playing Shadowkeep. I was struggling, trying to figure out how was I going to do this. And you know, everyone kept telling me, like, I keep watching in YouTube videos, they kept telling me, well, run your 1250s, man. Like, your 1250s will give you your good shit because it's a common drop. And it's like, yeah, okay, but if I'm by myself, I hate having to go to LFGs. I do, because everyone plays games to play with their friends, not to play with random people. But we make friends as we play in these games, and so you end up meeting people, right? I won't disagree with that. You meet people, you start playing with them, and you get used to them, and then they end up being together as friends. But not everyone's on the same schedule, right? You can't get on and just be like, oh, he's gonna play with me. As soon as I get on, I'm gonna be able to message him, and he's gonna jump in and do what I need to do. It doesn't. Destiny's not like that, you know. It's not a game where you can just expect everyone to be on your step at this right time, at the same time, to do when you need to do it, right? It's just a game where everyone is doing their own thing. We're all on the same page to get the same goals, but we all have our own little, you know, pathway that we're taking with our character, whether it be weaponry, armor, class, look, shade, the ship we use, the sparrow we use. Like, it all is aesthetically pleasing to our personal selves. So when we get on, playing the game should be no different. You know, our friends are doing things because they're maybe, you know, they're schedule has put them in doing something that, you know, you've already done or haven't even gotten to yet, you know. And so it's hard as a solo player to actually get in. And I gotta give kudos to Destiny for stepping up, making these game guides, the being able to queue up with finding a clan that's willing to run you. Now, I think this is something that needs to be implemented in some of these higher content things that they're trying to implement. Because if a solo player is struggling to do, especially with these new things, let's get in on these new things, these new lost sectors, right? Mastered, legendary lost sectors. Okay, so we'll say a brand new player gets into Beyond Light, gets on, has some fun, gets up, you know, plays this campaign, gets a stasis, is having a blast, you know, just kicking butt. You know, sees his goal should be at least 1220, you know, busts his butt to get to 1220, and then you know, with some bonus light from his artifact, you know, and he's like, oh, okay, I think I can go try and solo one of these lost sectors. If you're struggling to get through a 1220 with two other guardians, how are you supposed to solo the 1250? Or even worse, the 1280, the Grandmaster? Like, I think this game is great in the fact that it encourages people to play with each other and get to know, you know, the community, and you know, there's guardians everywhere, you know what I mean? All of us are guardians. We're all in the same boat. We're all trying to protect the tower and the light from the darkness, you know, so we're all in the same boat in that aspect, you know. But it's just not all players, you know, are at the same level as other players, and so when you're trying to tell people, oh, it's easy, just run this, and this, well, you're constricting, you're handcuffing people. I mean, you're telling them that oh, it's so easy, you just need these guns and it's so freaking easy. Destiny is not that way. It never has been. Not in 6 freaking years. It's never been that way. I mean, if you know Destiny 1, everything we kicked butt was 10 light levels higher than us. Every raid, everything that was challenging was always higher than us. So it was never, you know, this game was never ever all about, oh, you just need a weapon and you'll cream through it. I mean, if that was the case, how come nobody just waxed, you know, Crota in, you know, a blink? Because, you know, oh, they had Division of Confluence Gallowan combo, you know? No, it never worked that way, did it? Ever? You could say that, yeah, okay, the Gallowan and the Vision Confluence was a badass combo that could kick his butt pretty quickly if you had a decent group. But it required a group that knew how to run the raid, knew the situation, knew what you were doing, we're all on the same page. I mean, when you got into with the Chalice and everything, I mean, how many people legitly did this stuff without doing some of the little loopholes and glitches, you know what I mean? There were so many things people were doing. You know, I remember when timing down to 3 and counting down to what was it, to duplicate the Chalice. I don't know if anyone remembers that, but literally you'd stand at the wall and you'd have 2 people right, you get them hugging almost to the point that they were merged together as close as they could, and you'd count down to 3 and they would hold square and they would both grab the Chalice and you would constantly dupe it, right? Like, The Gallowan glitch was you'd have your primary leader be hardwired to the internet, make Crota go to an E and pull your internet cord, right? And it would freeze them, right? Like, there were so many loopholes to the game that it had nothing to do with your weaponry. It still doesn't. I mean, I don't. I just. It's just baffles me. It baffles me. It really does. Because some of the content that they try and make you do solo, I mean, people do it. I mean, it's not like it's impossible. People can't get this done. But what I'm trying to say is, when people are telling you, oh, it's easy, all you need is this, this, and this, it's not that simple. You can't sum it up and say, oh, all you need is these weaponries and it's good. I went in with a freaking Risk Runner 1250 on the, what was it? Was it Perdition? Is it Perdition? Or is it the... No, it's Concealed Void, isn't it? It's Concealed Void with all the arc crap on the floor. I went in with Risk Runner. I tried it. 1270. Got my ass kicked. Hardcore. So it's not just that simple. You can't just walk around and be like, oh yeah, I got this gun, I'm gonna kick butt on everything and nothing's gonna stop me. It ain't happening. And if you think that, you're fooling yourself. You really are. You just really are. But anyways, I'm getting away from what this video is really about. I just really wanted people to know, because I'm not seeing it talked about, is that the spider is your best friend right now, and we don't know what's going on, what's going to happen with the next DLC. We've already lost 4 planets. I really think people should be jumping on top of this, getting his bounties done as soon as you can, because you don't want to find out that you lost out on a bunch of cores this whole time that you could be getting, and then find out 2-3 months later down the road, you know, oh, he disappears, and then you're kicking yourself in the butt, right? So with that in mind, I really recommend it. Like I said, I'll repeat it right now. Go to Banshee. Your best bet is get your dailies from him. You can go to Banshee, get your 4 on all your characters. Then you go to the Tangled Shore. I recommend always trying to land where there's a public event, so you can land, you can fully arm all your ammo, right? That's preloaded, because there's 3 pieces of weaponry that you've got to complete, plus usually an element, right? So you load your weaponry, fly, land, hit a public event, rally, then you're fully loaded, run around, grab kill quests, target quests, do lost sectors, public events, until they're all done. You keep going, or just keep switching characters. That's what I prefer to do. I turn them in and go to the next character, and then do those, and then the next character, and then go back to your main character, and then start playing and doing what you want. Or make, do you have enough fragments? Oh, okay, let's get some of those targets done. And when it comes to the targets, I recommend also going in chunks, buying all the ones from Nessus all at once, and then going doing Nessus, right? Because then you'll know each character what they've done, right? You'd be like, oh, okay, like my Titan's already done all of it, but my Hunter, he's done Nessus. He needs the 3 EDZs. So that's where I'm at right now. That's what I'll be doing, right? So that's what I'm trying to get at. Is it's so much. It's so easy to do. It's not like pulling your hair out trying to run Nightfalls with blueberries for cores with a hope for prisms, right? Like, you'll get more. I will say this: I've noticed that you do get pretty good, decent drop rate on cores from Nightfalls. Like, I've gotten 4. plus a prism, you know, plus the bonus prism. You know, I've seen it. I've seen good games, but then I've also been going. You'll go through like 4 or 5 crappy groups that either A, don't have the mods that they need, or B, they're all about themselves. They're not there to play as a group. They're there to beat the Nightfall and be done and go. And dealing with people like that makes you not want to play the game mode. It doesn't. It's like people in strikes that, you know, you're sitting there trying to get 50 freaking kills and arc kills and sword kills, and they just run. And you're like, where are you going? And they run. They just run past all the ads. They don't even pay attention to them. And then while you're shooting them, they get to the next area, and then everything despawns. And you're like, well, thank you. Appreciate that. I mean, this is what I'm trying to say about those. Where I was trying to get earlier about the game guide stuff, right? But that's a separate point. So with the cores, I really recommend you do this. It's simple, it's easy, it'll get you ahead. It's so much nicer to be able to play modes. Like, having masterwork weapons will make your life easier, because there are so many, especially with the new setups with our mods on our armors and stuff, things happen when we pick up orbs. Well, if you're fully supered, you can't pick up orbs, right? Well, now you can't. So, having masterwork weapons is really beneficial, not only to your teammates, but to yourself as well, for doing charging of light, healing yourself, recharging your abilities, right? So masterwork weapons are very useful. I recommend everyone, old or new players, if you're to do this, try and set aside some time, because you will regret it if they get rid of these 2 places later on in the future, because we are on part 1 of 3 of this DLC. We don't know what they're planning. We have no clue. I mean, the fact that we lost 4 planets, that threw me for a loop. It's coming. It's like we're coming full circle. So we don't know what's ahead. We don't know what's in store. So I recommend everyone, new and old players, to grind your ghost fragments while you can, get your cores, masterwork your level, your weaponry, and your gear. And yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say on that. So I appreciate if you're watching this, taking your time to listen. I'm always going to be posting up new. I think I'm going to be starting posting up some new builds that I've been dabbling with. One of the new ones that I'm really liking, that I'm going to I might highlight coming up, is the my Berserker Hunter loadout. It's absolutely beast mode right now. I'm loving it. My Titan right now is using a melee build, revolving around just Mama said knock you out. So yeah, I mean, it's still in the works. I'm still trying to get my gloves. I am doing my cores right now to get my shards. I've got 1 shard already. It's not taking me long with the amount of cores that I'm racking in right now. So yeah, and it's so nice to be able to look at all the weapons and just be like, oh, look at all these masterwork weapons I can pick from to play with, right? It's so nice. It's great, because it makes your weaponry bonus stats, but also more versatile for orbs. So with that all said, I want to thank everyone again for watching. Appreciate it. And until next time, stay healthy out there, stay safe, and keep your stick on the ice.